Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We have the prayer and the pledge by Councilwoman Natalie Lopez.
May the Lord say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Doyle.
Here.
Councilmember Natalie Lopez.
Present.
Councilmember Marlon Lewis.
He's on the way. Somebody hit him from behind, but he'll be coming.
Councilmember David Broussard.
Here.
Councilmember Deidre Ledbetter. Here. Councilmember Sherry Guidry.
Present.
Councilmember Dustin Swear.
Here. Thank you. Our first item is public comment. We have one comment card. Before that goes, I take this time. Remember, there's no back and forth. It's only for a comment. And please put your cell phones on vibrate or silent. And Madam Clerk.
Pastor Harlan Ledette to discuss agenda item number 3C. Ms. Sherry Guidry.
Okay. You got a comment.
Good evening. How y'all doing today? I'm just here to speak on the behalf of Miss Sherry. Is it okay if I pull this down a little bit? Okay. Romans 13:1 tell us, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authorities unless God establish it. The authority that exists has been established by God. And I just want to speak on behalf of Ms. Sherry to let you know that we appreciate what you have done in the community, to appreciate you going above and beyond. I knew you for a while. You and your family are very established inside the community. And I'm here to let you know the reason why a lawyer wins their case in court is not because the family they came from, is not because the school they went to, is because of the evidence that they established through their case. And so I could literally say the evidence that you have established is being in the community, not only in front of cameras, but when nobody else see you, for establishing connections with God-based affiliations. And so I'm here to let you know that I back all y'all in prayer, really, but I back you. And so I'm just here to speak on your behalf to say that we truly appreciate what you're doing. And my grandmother used to always say, it's not the size of the dog in a fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. So I'm here just to let you know, keep fighting and doing what you do. Okay.
Great. That's it for our public comment. And we'll move on to item 2. Madam Clerk.
Acceptance of the minutes of September 1st, 2020 as published on September 13th, 2020.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilman Swear and a second by Councilman Broussard. Is there any discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote your machines. Thank you all very much. Item 3A.
Judge Lori Landry to address the council and announce candidacy for 16th Judicial District Attorney.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the council. I am Judge Lori Landry, retired and running for DA. I came to you tonight not to announce my candidacy. Y'all know. This is the last place on my rotation, and it's befitting because this is home. Last night I was in Jeanerette. That's my chosen home. But this was the home that my parents chose for me. I'm not going to introduce myself because y'all know. So what I am going to tell you is the same thing I told the people in Jeanerette. What's in a name? What's in a name? When I think about New Iberia, what comes to me right away is home. When I think about New Iberia, what comes to me right away is neighborly. When I think about New Iberia, what comes to me right away is not without our problems. When I think about New Iberia, what comes to me is we're still willing to work together, one neighbor to another neighbor, to get us to a better place. And it's also befitting in this 100th year anniversary of the 19th Amendment that New Iberia is also a place where women lead. Take a look on your wall. Not to the exclusion of you guys, and we love y'all, we do. Dan and I have been loving each other for a long time. Then he got married and it was a whole big scandal. Never mind. But where women lead. And so it's not by coincidence that we have women who are representing half of this council. When I think about New Iberia, I want to tell you most assuredly, I am the same Lori you know. I am your neighbor. Don't let anyone tell you what you know for yourselves. For the last 18 years on the bench, the 8.5 before that, and all of my years before that, I have been a member of this community, working with all bodies so that we could progress. We could take the easy route and let people tell you something that you know is not true. Lori is going to cause derision. Well, I don't know who said that. And if they did, they don't know Lori. Or better yet, they know Lori. They just want to make you afraid of change. When I think about New Iberia, I think this is the place I chose to live. I could have lived anywhere else in the whole wide world. I chose to come back home. When I think about New Iberia, I think this is a place, along with St. Martin and St. Mary parishes, that we as neighbors can address those things that we know are wrong, change them for the better, so that we'll have a better community to leave our children. Why the DA's office? Because the DA's office has its fingerprint on all of those systems that connect with families and people in Iberia Parish. School board, criminal, juvenile, boards such as these, sewage boards, and all of those things. That is the common denominator. Don't let anybody tell you that the billions of dollars that we spend as Americans every year on locking up our citizens makes us safer, because it doesn't. I didn't make up the statistics. And you could turn them on the upside of your head. It doesn't, and we know better. Boards like this one love to save money. And I'm going to tell y'all something. A Lori Landry-led DA's office will save you money, because we will be smart on crime, and the check is in the mail. You just have to trust your neighbor. So neighbors, I turn to you tonight and ask for your support as district attorney. You hired me 2001 to sit as your district court judge. You hired me again in 2008. And in 2014, you hired me again. You entrusted me to deal with your issues, Chief. And I'm here again to say that we're going to deal with them if you entrust me. I'm not running against anyone. I never have. I'm running for the office of district attorney because I am best suited to do the job that no one else has done. I have the know-how and I have the courage to do it. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you join me and be my neighbor? I am Lori Landry, a native New Iberian, and the Lori Landry DA's office will do us all proud. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm going to wipe the podium so that I don't spread my virus. Hold up, y'all. I ain't finna get sick on the campaign trail. I got too much to do. Thank y'all so much.
Madam Clerk, 3B.
Alicia Johnson Butler to address the council and announce candidacy for 16th Judicial District Judge for Division H.
Good evening. What a big voice to come behind, huh? I'm gonna pass out my push card so that you can have it for your review. If I'm able to the distinguished mayor, board, members, attorney, I stand before you introducing my candidacy as district judge because I'm not district judge yet. I'm vying for that position, and with your support, I can be district judge. My name is Alicia Johnson Butler, and I am here as an attorney, a private attorney, practicing law 20 years in my private practice. I'm here before you as a public defender for 17 years. I stand before you as a special education teacher, serving Iberia Parish School Board as a behavior disorder teacher. I stand before you as a federal correctional institution officer, serving with the Federal Bureau of Prisons for 2 years after I graduated from Grambling State University. Any Gramblingites in the house? Oh, yeah. My mom. Talk about family influence, huh? I come from a life of educators. My mom is a retired school teacher in the parish. My aunt, rest her soul, I miss her so very much, Miss Patricia Connor. She was from the education industry as well. My father, he served as a global diverse supervisor for a long period of time, as well as he was on the Weeks Island era, basically operating as a supervisor there. But I, like Judge Landry, am from New Iberia, born and raised. I came back to my community because I wanted to serve. I am a public servant. I've served on several boards, Iberia Parish Comprehensive Clinic Attorney, Glencoe Charter School Board Attorney, West End Business Revitalization Project President. Several things that I've done while raising my children in this community. I want to continue to serve, and that is why I'm here. I served as the law clerk for the late Judge Carl Williams. He actually encouraged me to go to law school because I was teaching at the time. And he was on the campaign trail, blazing the trail for young lawyers to establish this minority district seat that is before us today. But for him, we wouldn't be standing before you asking for your support. And that is why I'm here, asking you for your support, because as a politician, you know that the people, you represent the people, and the people can take you out just like they put you in. So with that being said, I have a lot to offer. And as a district judge, what you need to know is that all cases from all types of avenues come before the district judge. You need to evaluate each person and determine whether they are fit to handle those types of cases that come before the judge. You need to be independent. You need to have a voice. You need to be fair and impartial, because there's no politics in the courtroom. The Lady Justice is blind. Should be. And that is what we represent: equality and justice for all. So with your support, you may not vote in a district, but you know someone who does. As representatives in your capacity, you talk to many people. Share the information with them. I am a Eucharistic minister at Catholic St. Edward's Catholic Church. I've been there for all my life, born and raised in this community. I am here to serve the community, and I can only do that with your help. Vote number 72 as district judge. I ask for your prayers, your support, and I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Madam Clerk. 3C.
Sherry Guidry to address the council and announce candidacy for re-election as New Iberia City Councilman for District 5.
Mayor, I ask at this time if I would, as the incumbent, that I would step down to the podium
Sure.
and announce my candidacy.
Sure.
Thank you.
Would you hold that for us, Cora?
Thank you. Can I take this off?
Sure.
Yeah. Can I take this out of here? I'm not tall enough. I need a step stool. Good evening. Mayor, thank you so much for having me. And I want to thank God, first of all, for this moment because it is truly, I really don't need this. I talk loud enough. What y'all think? Yeah. Hold that for me too, Corey. Thank you so much. I want to thank God for this moment right here that we're in. This is truly a great moment for our city and for our state and our nation. To the Honorable Mayor Freddie DeCourt, my friend and my colleague, and also to this honorable and distinctive council, which are my friends, and also I've developed a family relationship with them as well. They're like my second family. And to the people of God, District 5, my constituents, and whom I've had the pleasure of serving for the past 4 years. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sherry Guidry. I'm your councilwoman presently for District 5 seat. The District 5 seat is the seat of the people. I'm here to announce my candidacy for re-election of the people's seat, District 5. If I sound a bit animated at this point, it's because a few hours ago, I've just learned that I'm going to be a grandmother. They should be having the baby within the next 24 hours. So I'm excited right about now. So if I can't contain myself and I stumble on my words, forgive me. I'm thrilled because it's going to be another grandchild that we've raised in this city, in New Iberia, with great heritage and good food and good people. So come on, New Iberia. It would take all of us and you and I as a village to raise the newcomer, last name Guidry. My lineage and my family is from New Iberia and the Laurelville area and the Kaplan area. I come from a lineage of ministers and reverends. My dad was the late Reverend Donald Paul Shelvin. And before he became saved, he was he would kick you up in the club, but after that he got saved and he brought a lot of people to Christ. He would pull out a knife on you and cut you. Yes, he would. But I just tell the truth and shame the devil. And I just want to let you know, 4 years of being your minister and your friend, and having been serving you for most of my life in the church, whether it's at St. Edward's Catholic Church or a non-denominational church here in New Iberia. I want to give at least a brief synopsis of my education very briefly and my certificates, and I'm not going to bore you because many of you all know me. And I'm just going to give you maybe 5 of my education and maybe just 5 or 6 of my community involvement. The list is a mile long on the community involvement, so I'm just going to cut it down to 6 if that's all right with you, Mayor and Council. I have an Associates of Arts degree with the Foundation of Business. I have a Bachelor's of Science degree in Public Sector and Business. It's actually in business with a concentration of public sector. I'm a Southwest Bible Institute for Practical Theology alumni because I was a servant leader. I was trained there to be a minister. I was a licensed cosmetologist here in New Iberia and an instructor at a local school here in New Iberia for hair, skin, and nails. I'm also a participant currently at Harvard University online for Harvard X online course. I just gave you a small synopsis of my education, and if I may, I just want to recap from 2016 to 2020, just maybe 6 community involvements that really stands out to me that I've enjoyed doing within this city. I'm the vice president of the Hopkins Street Economic Development District. I'm also the executive board member secretary of St. Josephine, Bakita Legal Aid. I'm also, the founder of District 5 and Citywide Neighborhood Watch, which District 5 did not have a neighborhood watch when I took the seat in 2016. I'm the founder of the Tight and Right Cleanup Initiative. It's in partnership with the City of New Iberia and also Project Front Yard and Iberia Chamber of Commerce here in New Iberia. I'm the founder and a partner with the City of New Iberia for the Little Free Mini Library located in the West End Park side of New Iberia. And I'm also the founder and initiator of the Back to School Milk and More Drive we just had for our kids to go back to school safely with masks and hand sanitizer and some school supplies. In addition to my education and community involvement, I'd like to give you a quick synopsis of only a few accomplishments of this great council and mayor in which I've had the pleasure of serving. Over the last few years, we've established the New Iberia Police Department, in which I'm very proud of, and I campaigned to do so because the voters have spoken that they were tired of the crime, and we made sure that we addressed that. $10 million in grants in a city slip that's coming to New Iberia. A civic center marina coming to New Iberia. Hopkins Street Economic Development. I was involved also along with this council, the Bayou Teche Museum development with the George Rodriguez Park. And I'm so excited about what I'm about to say right now. It's the wayfinding signages that's going to be coming to the city of New Iberia. It's part of our new master plan. So get ready and watch out. It's not only just for us citizens here to get around the city and easier to read, but it's also going to be about the tourists that's going to come to our town and they can move about the city freely. The Downtown Historic Trail District wayfinding signages as well. What about that kayak dock that's coming to New Iberia to rev up our economic engine? The Frontage Road Project, Iberia Street Pavement, and it goes on and on. What about some bulletproof vests for our new police department? And also to 65 new businesses under this administration. And I just want to talk about the West End Park splash pad. Before, under the last administration, it was voted that they close up the pool for West End Park. But under this administration, and the mayor can tell you, and I'm standing before him, before you all on camera, I haggled him down in the office, along with other council members, I'm sure. And I know he was glad to get rid of me out of his office about putting a splash pad or something for the youth of our city, so they can no longer say we have nothing to do for our children. And also, we're responsible for the new West End playground equipment that you see shining like new money out there. And then in the new air conditioning system, we've dealt with houses that have been demolished from Buckeye to Bush Alley to Doré Alley, Monterey Street, the list goes on and on, East Persian Street, School Street, Lafayette Street, and also Birch Street. So we've done a lot with that as well, and we're revamping our list. There's so many things that I could talk about, and I won't hold you for time. The one that stands out to me the most is the $1.8 million drainage project on Jefferson Terrace Street. And also our fire department. Remember, if we don't have a good insurance rating, then we won't be able to hold our premiums down. I close, beloved and friends and laborers of this great city. I'm not your average traditional leader and minister, and I need y'all to know that. I love to climb mountains, and I love in my spare time to ride motorcycles with my husband. So if y'all see me around town dressed like a biker chick, think it not strange. I'm just being myself. I do what I like to do with my husband and family for 29 years. And and also my favorite part about being here in New Iberia is being a grandmother. I like loading up my grandchildren with pies, cookies, cakes, and a lot of sugar. Load them up and then send them back to their parents. Lastly, beloved and friends of this great city, consider carefully the candidates on the ballot in this race. We're in a strange season with greater demands right here at our doorsteps. Consider, my friends and laborers of this great city, what's before you. Do what you want to do, but listen to this. Do you want a compliant person with no experience in government to make major decisions on your behalf? A person that threw their name in the hat after being gone for 30 years from this community, and within arrival of nearly 5, decided to run for office. And that's okay. Or do you want residents, a person with proven leadership experience that can facilitate, initiate with faith and personalized set skills to continue to improve the quality of life as we know it? As your present councilwoman for the last 4 years, I've been your minister and your friend, and I have never let you down when it came down to you calling me and asking me to pray with you on personal issues. And I'm still believing God for your breakthrough and your manifestation. I've been in the trenches with you as a mother, a grandmother, a neighbor, and a wife for 29 years to my husband, Joe. And I've prayed with many of you over the phone. We're believing God right now for everyone to pull together as neighbors. I want to thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your family for the past 4 years, and ask you humbly for your support, your continued confidence, and your prayers. I also graciously thank my opponent for being in this race. I must confess, she has truly helped me redefine what long-standing commitment is to our, including with my colleagues. But this is what I've learned that you helped me with. You helped me learn, don't take anyone and anything for granted. You've helped me learn to continue to walk with grace towards one another. And you've helped me walk resolutely with my continued strength given to me by God in this season that I'm in, and to seek God for everything as we continue with his knowledge and his revelation for this district. Remember, beloved, lastly, this election on a federal level to the local level is not a physical fight. This is a spiritual battle. So be prayerful in this time for your leaders. I'm Sherry Guidry. I'm number 97 on the ballot, and I'm asking again for your prayers and support as we continue to move New Iberia forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have one more thing, and then I'm going to take my seat. It's Psalm 90, and I'm going to share this with you. It's just one scripture, and God impressed upon my heart today to read it. It says, "And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. And yea, the work our hands establish thou it." May the Lord bless you all, and may the Lord bless the city of New Iberia. Thank you so much.
Madam Clerk, now we go to item 4A.
Resolution number 2059, reappointing Albert Smitty Smith III to the Port of Iberia District Board of Commissioners to represent the city of New Iberia.
Do I have a motion? So moved by Mayor Pro Tem Dan Dahl, and a second by Councilwoman Natalie Lopez. Is there any discussion on this item?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I think we've been lucky to have this one, and Mr. Dorey is coming up next to represent the city. But I wish we'll make a policy that anybody that we appoint to a board come in public to introduce themselves before we vote. I have no problem voting on these people, but I think it's something for the council to be able to recognize these people that we're putting on the board, that some of these people up here might not ever met.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the parish does do that, actually. Jeff?
I think the port had a meeting today or this afternoon, so.
they have meetings the same as us.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the same time, but I know I talked to somebody who was going to that meeting this afternoon, so it could be they're still there, I don't know.
But I think we have appointed people in the past that has not showed up. I just think it'd be a good thing.
That's not a
to,
bad
I
policy.
mean, they do it in the parish. If you want to appoint a board, you should be here in person. And if they have another meeting to go to, I understand that, but we don't know that. I mean, we just found that out tonight.
Yes, Natalie?
I agree with Mr. Doyle. But I will say this, that these are people who have been on for quite some time. And I know that when I got elected, I mean, this was 8 years ago, but they both personally did reach out to me and meet me, and I have met them, and when I see them, they stop and they talk to me, and they acknowledge me and, you know, give me the insight of what's going on at the port. So these aren't, I want to make it known that these are two people, if requested to come, would have definitely been here tonight. I can't say that with 100% certainty, but I can say that I strongly feel that way about Mr. Dorey and Smitty.
Okay. Mr. Broussard?
I've been here several times that we had to appoint him again, you know. And Mr. Dorey, I know personally, has been here. I'm sure he'd have been here, but I think, Dan, you're right. Anybody appointed, if they want to serve, he should be here,
Come on down.
you know. But if they're missing it for a meeting, something, we can, you know, have it another day if we need to vote. But I think you have a good point. The parish is doing it. Make them come and visit us.
Mayor, to mention something else that used to be prior, when we started appointing people to boards, we would request maybe one time a year they would come and give us info about the board that they serve on, what's going on. We did that for a while, and I'm not picking on the port board. These are two good people. I know them very well. I'm just saying other boards that people belong to, maybe it'd be good for information if they would come once a year, kind of tell us what's going on. I know they used to do it for the recreation board. I mean, they used to do it for a few boards, but I just thought it would be a good thing to get more information to the council.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
I like both ideas, and that's something in the future we can implement. I'll bring it back to this council, and we can vote on it, do a resolution, and, you know, change is always good. I'm all for new ideas. Back to our issue at hand. Any further remarks about our first person? Hearing and seeing none, please vote your machines. Thank y'all very much. Madam Clerk, 4B.
Resolution number 2060, reappointing Mark Dorey to the Port of Iberia District Board of Commissioners to represent the city of New Iberia.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilman Swear and a second by Councilman Broussard. Is there any discussion?
How many years has he been serving? A long time, huh?
He's been on the board
You say,
Very much information.
a long time, and he, both of these gentlemen have talked to me, you know, recently and expressed an interest to continue to do this, and they've done a good job for us, but he's been on the board for a while.
We're all right with him, thank you.
Any further discussion?
yeah, I'm just gonna say, I'm
Yes.
just gonna kind of reiterate, every time I see Mr. Dorey, he's full of knowledge, he knows what's going on. For people who do this for free, I'm impressed with how much he retains and the energy and the effort he puts into it, and he really is a really good middle of the road person to have. I'm very impressed with what I see from him.
Great, thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, please vote your machines. Thank you all. Madam Clerk, 4C.
Resolution number 2061, giving preliminary approval to the issuance of not to exceed $3,250,000 of general obligation refunding bonds for the City of New Iberia, State of Louisiana, making application to the State Bond Commission and providing for other matters in connection therewith.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Dan Dahl. Do I have a second? I think Councilman Dustin Swear got this one. Thank you very much. David, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Good afternoon. Good to be with you.
Yes, sir.
David Medlin with Government Consultants, financial advisory firm. I work with Jason Aker, your attorney. Jason couldn't make it tonight, so I'm going to cover the topic. But what this is we call it a preliminary resolution to the State Bond Commission. It just sets the parameters, which in this case are not to exceed $3,250,000. An interest rate of 4% and a final maturity in the year 2026. This is very much like refinancing your house. It's just a lot more money in that. Your current bonds that we're refunding have a 4.5% rate. We ran the numbers at 2%, could be around that or maybe hopefully better. You have a couple of options on how many payments you want to make. If you want to make two and finish it in 2023, your savings will be $158,000. If you want to go one more year, your savings will be $126,000, just depending on your budget. And refunding this actually takes these bonds out of the way and gives you a lot more flexibility with that general obligation tax to go out and do more things. And finally, the resolution appoints Fellow Udell as your bond counsel and our firm, Government Consultants, as your financial advisor.
Yes. Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying that we're trying to refinance this at a 2% interest, but the most it can go up is 4%.
It will be 4%.
But then our old bond was at what percent?
4.5.
4.5.
We're going from 4.5 to 2.
Yeah.
So the original
Hopefully.
bond was in 2010 was 2.9 million. What is the original bond? How much it was?
2010 was $9,925,000.
9 million. But I see you have that 3.2 million.
That's what we're selling now.
That's what you're selling now.
Yeah, we're gonna take.
Okay.
You've paid off a lot of the 2010s and got it down. It's going to take that to get rid of those.
So we're just paying. We're not bonding more money.
No.
We're just bonding what we owe.
You're
Correct.
restructuring the
Restructuring.
current debt and you're saving money,
Yeah. Okay.
a good bit of money, and giving yourself a lot of flexibility. That's a big issue.
Yeah. So it's like a floating interest. You said we try to get by 2%, but this interest could go up.
It's not going to go.
It's not,
That's where the market is. Around
Right.
2 today. We're going to go and do an RFP with banks, and you're going to get a competitive bid.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Anybody else? And David, as I talked to Jason today, this is all good business, good stuff to do, and where we're heading is we're working on that road bond. Every time I refinance something, every time we get a little more flexibility, every time we build up our general fund, I mean, we are basically making a case at some point, I'm hoping next year, toward the end of the year, that we can float our first road bond. And then I know you and Jason have some ideas on how we could, in another year after that, probably float a larger road bond. But I mean, that's, you know, one of the valuable parts of having these guys is that not only are they saving us money now, but we are prepping. I drive the roads every day that every one of you drive, and we need some help. So it will be, like I said, probably another year, but that is what Jason and I, every time I talk to Jason, you know, don't forget my road bond, you know, I really got to get moving on that. So all of these steps we're taking, I just want all of our citizens to realize, and I know you all do, that all these steps we're taking is to financially get us in a position to where we can attack the next big challenge, which is our roads.
And you say the savings about 150?
Two options. If you pay it off in 2 years, you save $158,000 cash flow. If you go 3, it's $126,000.
Say that one more time for us,
So you have a choice on that.
sir?
Yes,
We'll
sir.
talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Could you say that one more time for us, please? You said you saved
Uh,
$150,000.
If you pay off this refunding bond in 2 years, you will save $158,000 as opposed to the old debt service.
Mhm.
And if you pay it off in 3 years, you'll save $126,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's no further questions, comments? Everybody's good? Then I'll ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you all very much. Madam Clerk, item 4D.
Resolution number 2062, approving the creation of the Judicial Building Fund pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 13-1910.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by, I think, Councilman Swear got that one, second by the Mayor Pro Tem, Dan Dahl. And we have Judge Hike here. Judge, would you like to approach?
Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Good to see you once again, twice in a week. That's not a bad thing. So this building fund is something that Lake Charles has done to actually build an entire new building. Of course, that's not the plan here, but this is something, well, I don't know, Mr. Mayor. But this is honestly something I've wanted to do for some time now. I'm trying to move the court forward. When I first got there, for example, we had cassette tapes. We recorded everything in court proceedings on cassettes. And so I'm just trying to move us to that next level. For example, carpet and curtains and chairs and computer software and computer hardware, all those things are supposed to be provided by the city. I think if we can implement this, I'm hoping to build up this judicial building fund, and it's a dedicated fund, $10 on criminal filings, $10 on civil filings to address those sorts of things. Like I said, carpet and chairs and hardware and software. So
The bonding
just trying to
man's
work
here.
with the city to kind of move the building into the 21st century. So excited to do it.
And
With your blessing.
I think it's a creative idea. You know, I've seen a lot of, you and I have worked well together, restructuring a lot of parts and pieces, and I'm excited about this. I think it was, when you brought it to me, I thought it was a great idea.
We want to be
so-
as progressive as possible.
We do.
Trying to get there, and this will go a long way. With, like I said, with your blessing.
And dedicated fund source, we can talk to our bonding attorney right back there at some
That's
point.
true.
You never know.
That's a good point, Mr. Mayor.
I got a question, Judge.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying $10 would be added to each ticket? Or
Well-
what is going to be added to?
So
The
the-
citizens
the-
are going to be paying it, right?
Well, so yeah, like everything in our system, unfortunately, it's a fee. It's a court
Okay.
cost.
Whoever comes to court.
And so the statute, I have it right here, reads, court may impose a service charge not to exceed $10 per filing. And to answer your question
Like a
on
speed
criminal
ticket?
filing, so you said ticket. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
tickets.
Okay.
It'd be $10 per ticket. Yeah.
Cool.
So-
Thank you.
Okay.
We're making money tonight.
Well, I don't know, but we're trying to move. It's not a matter of making money. Be quiet. We're trying to move the city forward.
Yeah,
that's all.
I agree with you
So,
totally. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
So Mayor, this is not a separate fund or nothing, I just want the citizens to understand that we're taking money out of the general fund or anything like that. We're just assessing, this to, the fees, the court costs and fees, to build that fund.
Is to
It-
create a building fund.
The
yes, ma'am.
judicial fund. And so the other thing was, I wanted to ask, do you have a roundabout park of a number that you're kind of
That's a
looking for, a goal or an objective?
That's a really good question. Mr. Gonsalves actually asked me, was sitting in the audience. I was thinking about today. No, I don't know, because it came up so quick. I mentioned it to the mayor, I think maybe less than 2 weeks ago. He's like, let's get on the agenda and get rolling with it. Honestly, don't know, and I apologize, I don't have that answer. More than we have now, which is $0.
We'll run it for a little while and come give you a report.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. I don't mind doing that.
Assess it,
That's
yeah.
only fair.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank y'all.
Anybody further questions? Well, Judge, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, I think it's a creative idea, and counsel, if there's no
Thank you,
other,
Tom. Y'all keep up the good work.
thank you.
Thank you.
No other discussion, I'll ask you to please vote your machines. Great, thank y'all very much. Well, we got a building fund.
Very good.
Madam Clerk, 5A.
Ordinance number 2020-2021-01, adopting a budget for the city of New Iberia for the fiscal year ending October 31st, 2021.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion.
So moved by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Councilwoman Guidry. Discussion.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'm just so excited to introduce this budget to the citizens of New Iberia. It's probably the best budget I ever seen in 19 years. And that's a big deal. Not only because we're, the city's doing pretty good, it's the projects that we're getting done. I remember the days where we couldn't have coffee at the departments. That's no joke. You had to bring your own coffee in. So we came a long way. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. It takes leadership. And it takes a good council. I've been through the bad times. I think this council's been lucky. It hasn't been too bad the few years y'all been here, but we have really progressed and we're doing things. People are talking about, they want to come back to New Iberia. I know people going back from Sugar Mill Pond and coming back to New Iberia because they just missed the quality of life. So this budget, I want to apologize because I probably asked so many questions when we adopted the budget, but I believe that
Nothing wrong with that.
important in what we did.
It is.
And you know, $40-something million budget came a long way. And you know, I was looking through it, and one thing I noticed is the grant money. It is unbelievable how much grant money this city got this past year. It's amazing. I know it sounds boring, but it's a big deal. And every project you think that we're doing, the boat docks, the stuff at the museum, it's a lot to do with the money that's available that the city never went after. I mean, is repairing the roads much more important than a boat dock? Yes, I believe it is. But that's where the money is.
I do too, but I can't find a road grant.
That's right. So you got to go where the money is. I try to explain that to people all the time. Why y'all doing this? Who's going to use this? It's because the money's available, and a little bit asset or money we have to put up to make the quality of life better outweighs it. So I was glad I wanted to make sure I felt very strongly about introducing this because it meant that much to me. And if you look at my little book, I got highlights everywhere just to make me understand it better and to be able to ask people when they ask you a question about how the city's doing. We tell them, if we tell them we up 1.5% maybe for the year, they think we're crazy. That says a lot. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot, but it's a big deal for us to be up in what's going on here. And it just says a lot about the city. So thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Broussard.
I want to thank you, Mayor, and this council for our veterans. We finally got something they can respect. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for accomplishing that this last year
We're
or
working
two.
on it. I had
it's in the budget a little
I had a
bit.
call from a veteran this week that I was going too slow.
Well,
So
it's a lot
I'm
more than
working
we've
on
had.
speeding it up.
A lot more than we ever had before. It's a big start because we had nothing
Okay.
up there, and
Yeah, our plaques are
I mean, it's-
9 weeks out. Our bricks are 10 weeks out.
yeah. So we
You know, but it's coming. It's coming
we're
together.
climbing the ladder.
It's coming together.
And I want to thank you all a lot for backing that.
That's not a problem. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, I also want to kind of say thank you to this council and to the city manager, the mayor, and this administration. Balancing the budget every year with no audit findings is really awesome for this size municipality. And also too, I got a question because I had to get back out there on the trail there, but we put aside for demolition. But is it still the 100,000?
We put 60. We had some money. We transferred over into next year, and I will put, with your approval, okay? I can't do anything without y'all. Okay, I have no problem if we spend $200,000. I wanted to put it in an increment, put 60 back. Okay, so now that'll give us a total of, to get started. We had put 100. And we spent some before COVID kind of made a stop because we weren't positive where we were financially. But we have money in the general fund, kind of, in a plan of action, if you will, for next year. If we successfully initiate and spend the 60, because there are a lot of home runs that we don't have to tear something down, that either citizens do it themselves, or better than that, they fix the house, and we're not representing the empty lot. But there is money, and we can, and there has been discussion. So when you use that 60 and we, aggressively tear more houses down or make people renovate them, I'll load the pipe again. So we have the ability to do that.
Thank you.
So spend it and just ask.
Thank you.
Yes, Dustin.
Yeah, I just want to say that I wasn't able to attend the budget meeting. That was due to my job. It put me in Lake Charles for a week, but I was able to speak with the mayor briefly. And like Mr. Dahl said, I have no issues whatsoever with what's going on because there's some positive things. So I would definitely vote for this budget any day. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Well, thank you all very much. I ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you all. And I'd just like to say that the budget is where it is because of this council. You know, the amount of teamwork and the amount of time that you all put in and the amount of meetings we have behind the scenes and phone conversations where everybody knows what's going on and, you know, we all pulling in the same direction, which is not, you know, it's not an easy feat at times, but we all manage to do it. And you see other governments not all pulling in the same direction. So we're very blessed. You know, I'm blessed to have each one of y'all. So I just want to thank y'all because our budget would not be where it is if it wasn't for the teamwork, you know, that we have. So thank y'all. Madam Clerk, item 6, Councilman's remarks. I got that one. Natalie, Councilman's remarks.
I'm just happy school started this week. That is all.
Well, thank you. Mr. Broussard.
Ms. Sherry, I thank you for reminding the people of the teamwork that we play and the amount of projects that we have accomplished. And it's amazing to hear you go through all of them. But as a team, I think we accomplished a lot. And I think the parish also, I gotta give them credit too. They're making their council look good too. They're working as a team too. So it's good to see all Iberia Parish working as teams, and we're doing our share over here. But we have a lot to be accomplished still. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for leading us.
Thank you, Mr. B. Dan.
Yeah, Mayor, I want to thank you and your police department, how y'all handled the bar situation. It looks like when they went to phase 3, the city of New Iberia, or at least the bar owners kind of projected something different, and they all kind of opened Friday.
Yeah.
And it was packed at every bar, but it was not supposed to open. And I think you handled it well. The way you talked to them, the way you gave them the information, is just, there's so many ways to address a situation, and I think you and your police department addressed it well. Even with the, you know, it's hard when you go shut someone down for them to still appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they all did.
Well,
and it was a big deal, and it was a commotion Friday for sure. That's to say the least.
It was. Well, you know, when the governor said phase 3 initially said bars
Yeah.
were open. So all the bars open, you're 100% right. We realized that about, 6 o'clock, they weren't supposed to be open. So what we did was, they were only could stay open till 10 with limited capacity. So it was too late to really cause that much turmoil. So they all got a night. And then what we did on Saturday, the chief and I spoke and we made a plan. We put a little packet together that showed the map, showed the COVID stats, showed why they couldn't open, showed that it had to be below 5 for 2 weeks. And then we sent patrolmen out to, I started calling and called, some bar owners, but we sent patrolmen out to all the bars and just said, you're not supposed to be open, and here are the facts, and here are why you're not supposed to be open. Now, the ATC, the fire marshal, and the state police really have jurisdiction. We're being the messenger and telling you you're not supposed to open, okay? If any of these groups call us to assist, we're coming. But, we're not even clear if we should shut you down. But I know they can. You could be putting your liquor license at risk. You could be putting fines, it's not worth it. So we asked all of them to, please close. And we had good success, and it all ended up working out, but it was kind of hairy for a minute because, look, those bar owners have been shut down for months. They have notes, they have insurance, they're paying taxes. On the flip side, and I didn't make the rules, you can go to a restaurant and do the same thing you're doing, and COVID doesn't know the difference if you're drinking at a restaurant or drinking at a bar. I mean, I can see kind of their frustration with this, but, I don't make the rules, we just try to follow them. So it did work out, and I am hoping that our numbers can go below 5 for 2 weeks, and then these bars can open. They provide jobs, they provide entertainment, they provide taxes. So wear your mask, social distance, so that we can get back to that's the one element that we have not returned to. I would like to see us, normal again, not a new normal, the same old normal. So let's get this stuff out of here. But thank you.
Yeah. Man, one thing,
Yes, sir.
Mayor, made me think. One of my good friends is Mr. Taylor Byron, and he's one of those guys that can tell you no and you tell him thank you. And I think that's what kind of happened this weekend. You had a little tail of Bara in you,
Well,
the way you went and addressed those
Let's
things.
hope I'm learning, because I used to be nice and give you good news and people were mad at me. So
right.
I'm trying. I'm improving.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Deidre.
I just want to say also, our parish is at 5.6 in COVID positivity. And if you, as a constituent, a community member, want the bars to be open and get back to life as normal, need to follow the rules. And most of us up here also need to follow the rules. And the rules mainly say that you're supposed to wear your mask. That's the way we're going to get it under control. I don't want to give it to you. You don't want to give it to me. If I have it, I need to quarantine. So we all follow the rules. And you have so many different kinds of masks. There's one that you will be able to breathe through. It will match your outfit if you wanted to. You can make your own. You can do your own thing. And us as leaders up here, we need to be the example for our community that we can follow the rules also. And you know that's my pet peeve, for sure. So let's do it. Let's be in this together. It's not about right or wrong. It's about being safe or not safe and getting back to where we need to be. And that's all I have to say for today.
Thank you. Sure.
I have no council remarks at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Dustin.
Yeah, I do want to say that last meeting we had to pray to our neighbors to the west. This meeting we'll be praying to our neighbors to the east. I spent a week in Lake Charles, like I mentioned earlier, and it's devastating to see the damage that was done there. So I hope the ones off to the east of us are spared, but they do have a lot of rainfall. Looks like it's coming. So just pray for them, and whatever they need from us, just try to get it to them. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, you had a little remark tonight.
Yeah, we
Spreading it around.
we had a comment of, maybe it was last meeting, by Michael Bell, who talked about Felicite and the history of New Iberia. And there is a book, coincidentally, that just came out telling that story. The three things that come together: the founding of New Iberia, and Felicite, and the yellow fever epidemic, and coincidentally written by my mother. So I got these and had them signed, and I've got one for each of you. So this is part of our history, and part of the history of this town, and the intertwined history of the different communities in this town. So I hope y'all will read that book. I know Dan's gonna go home right now and start on it.
I hope I can drive and read at the same time.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't want to have to tell my mother you're not reading a book, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And I'm going to throw a little tidbit out there. Our grant that we are working on Fulton Street, it was going to be called Fulton Street Landing, which is kind of boring. We're now kind of thinking about naming it Felicity's Landing. It's right across from Mount Carmel. It's right across from where all that history happened. I think it'll really be neat. So that'll be coming to y'all as a little resolution. We don't have the grant yet, but we're working on it. But I thought that would really be cool. And that is the future little dock that lets our community get out of the bayou, go to the bars that are open again, go to the restaurants, go to the shops, because it'll have some sets of stairs that you can get out and boats can dock there. And we're also hoping at some point to get a tour boat back in Bayou Teche so that we can really tell that history. And I'm not going to say too much yet, but I actually had a call today with someone about a tour boat. So we're really working on this grant as hard as we can to try to get it. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. So with that said, our next meeting is October the 6th. And Civic Source, check out those properties for sale. And I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you.